This is a video that I had hoped I would never have to make, but I actually knew that I was going to make it if I would need to several years ago, because Andrew was just that awesome. If you don't already know, Andrew Lee was diagnosed with a rare form of kidney cancer, and when they found it, it was already stage 4. I met him several years ago at the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix in 2016, and I got to hang out with him among the other YouTubers who were there in Pittsburgh that weekend. But Andrew really stood out to me, and I could not imagine meeting somebody more awesome, more positive, just more inspirational as a whole. I have a whole list of people who inspire me and motivate me, and Andrew is right up at the top with all of them. But I actually met him back in 2016, and I remember Dr. M3 talking about it, and he was talking about the Vintage Grand Prix and the weekend coming up, and he kept saying, hey, you gotta follow Driven to Cure. You have to follow Driven to Cure. There's this kid who has this awesome testimony. You have to follow Driven to Cure. And I went to their Instagram, and at the time they had about 50 followers, and I was kind of surprised, you know, because Dr. M3 talked about it like it was huge, like this was a big movement, and no doubt it is, no doubt. But you know, I was expecting to have like 100,000 followers, and they had 50, and I wasn't even sure if I was on the right page at first. So I gave them a follow, checked out their YouTube channel, followed that. But when they came, I actually got to meet them that weekend and hang out a little bit. I'm honestly at a loss of words to explain or describe how incredible of a person Andrew is. I really can't put it into words. Those of you who know him know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's just incredible to me the attitude that he had. He was so positive all the time, and actually David Patterson in his video said it best. And if Andrew didn't tell you that, you know, he was battling something and there was something wrong, you wouldn't know it. And I remember that weekend hanging out, and he was always in such a great mood and laughing and joking, and he was always putting everybody else first. And you know, I remember thinking to myself, like, are you sure? Are you sure there's something wrong with you? Because you would never know it. If you bumped into him on the street, even at a car meet, if you talked to him, you would not know that he was battling what he was unless he let you know. And I consider myself so blessed and so fortunate to have met him and gotten to hang out. That weekend was by far one of my best weekend ever, like all-time high best weekends. And Andrew's a big part of that for sure. One of my favorite memories of that weekend was cruising through Pittsburgh behind his R35 GTR, which is, you know, orange because he wanted to raise awareness to the cause. And it was just an incredible weekend. But that was the energy, and that was the attitude that Andrew had everywhere, all the time, wherever he was. It was never about him, and he had every single right to be a little bit selfish and to you know, to want attention. A lot of people are selfish and they want attention regardless. And then you have people who are terminal, and you know, I feel like those people have every right to be a little bit selfish and get what they want. But Andrew, I can't even say he didn't get what he wanted. He got it exactly what he wanted, and what he wanted was to raise awareness for this cancer, and raise awareness for kidney cancer and cancer research, and you know, to reach out to people. He took I can't even say it's negative, it's beyond negative, a absolutely crushing event, crushing news, where a lot of people would just wallow around in sorrow, and he turned that around and turned it into something positive, not just for him, but for millions of people. His legacy is going to be absolutely incredible. And while it's very, very sad to hear that he passed, it's just, I'm a little bit jealous of his legacy. He's going to have such an incredible impact, and he already has had an incredible impact, but it's just getting started, and it's going to continue to grow. And so far in a few years, he's raised nearly $500,000, and you know, he's raised so much awareness already on some of the bigger YouTube channels, on Car Throttle, and this event, while it's sad that he passed, it's going to raise awareness even more, and it's just incredible the decision that he made and the sacrifice that he made to put others first and to put this cause first. If you watch any other interviews that he has given, which I highly recommend doing, never once did he say, woe is me. Never once did he say, I want this or I want that. It's always about Driven to Cure. It's always about raising awareness. It's always about him doing everything that he can to bring awareness to the cause and the need for more cancer research. He didn't just get a GTR. That's why he made it orange, to raise awareness for the cause. That's why he went to different car shows. That's why he started Driven to Cure. I could not imagine starting a non-profit organization at 19. He's already done things that I have yet to do, and I'm 10 years older than him, which is just crazy. It's inspirational, and it's just mind-blowing. I can't really wrap my head around that. It blows my mind. I wanted to make this video because I felt that he deserves it. I was fortunate enough to meet him, and I want to make it clear that I only met him, you know, that one weekend. The last thing that I want to do is to portray like we were best friends, and quite frankly, I just didn't know him that well, and I wish I had known him better. From my position, just knowing him for that weekend and getting to hang out and, you know, following him on social media and everything, I felt obligated to share his story and use my voice, as small as it is, to raise some awareness for his cause and, you know, just shine a light on what he has done and, you know, what he has started, because I think he deserves that. And I decided to make this video that very weekend that I met him. That's how incredible he was. I don't want this to be too sad of a video. It is a sad event, but Andrew is not a sad guy. He was always positive, and you know, I definitely want to reflect on some of the more positive times. And if you knew Andrew, you knew exactly what I'm talking about. And if you didn't, then I highly suggest you watch some videos, because he was incredible, and he was just always positive and always beaming. He used his affliction, you know, his situation, and he turned that around 180 degrees, and he used it as a positive, not only to help himself, but to help others. And that is something that you don't see very often at all. But if you haven't checked out Driven to Cure at this point, I highly suggest that you do that. All the links are in the description down below. Definitely give their Instagram a follow, Facebook a follow. Go check out driventocure.org. If you feel led, then I highly suggest donating, because it's a good cause. They make sure that the money goes to exactly where it needs to. And, you know, that's something that each of us can do to honor Andrew and, you know, make sure that his legacy continues on. So with that being said, I definitely wanted to reflect back on some of the more positive times and just let you guys know how awesome Andrew was.
I was diagnosed with a rare form of kidney cancer. When my dad and I found out my cancer currently does not have a cure, we decided to kind of be whimsical and go get the dream card. So we went out and we got an R35.